Title of the reading: A Mother's Main Responsibility, Thomas Boston, 1676 to 1732, by Grace alone. Every Creature Ministry. For more of our work, follow us on youtube.com/c/Every Creature Ministry or t.me/Every Creature Ministry. If parents provide not for their children, they are worse than beasts to their young. If they give them not civil education, they are worse than herons, but if they add not religious education. What to do the more than civilized herons? When God give thee a child, he says as Pharaoh's daughter to Moses, Mother, take this child and nurse it for me. Exodus chapter 2 verse 9. Though we are but parents of their flesh, we must be careful of their souls, otherwise we ruin them. Mothers ought to instruct their children in the principles of religion, and so sow the seeds of godliness in their hearts as soon as they are able to speak and have the use of reason. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 to 7. Such early religious education is a blessed means of grace. 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 12. Compare verse 3. Not only is this the duty of fathers who should teach their children, Proverbs chapter 4 verse 3 to 4, but of mothers who, while the children are young, about their hand should be dropping something to them for their soul's good. Solomon had not only his father's lesson, but the prophecy his mother taught him, Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1 to 8. Labor to deter from sin. The neglect of this was Eli's sin, for which God judged his house, 1 Samuel chapter 3 verse 13, endeavor to process their hearts with an abhorrence of sinful practices and a dread of them, carefully put a stop to their lying, swearing, cursing, and Sabbath breaking. If they learn those while young, they will be fair to accompany them to gray hairs. Steer them up to the duties of holiness and the practice of religion, often inculcate on them the doctrine of their sinful, miserable state by nature, and the remedy provided in Christ. Show them the necessity of holiness, and pointing out Christ to them as the fountain of sanctification. Commend Christianity to them, and press them to the study of it is the main thing they have to do in the world. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 4. Be with them and teach them to pray. For this cause, let not the worship of God be neglected in your families, but for your children's sake maintain it. No wonder that those children seek not God, who never see their mothers bow a knee. Ye should take them alone and pray with them, and teach them to pray, laying materials of prayer often before them. Let them learn the Lord's Prayer and use it as a formal until such time as they can conceive a prayer by the directory, for though we do not think the Lord has bound us to that form, yet I know none that do affirm that I may not be used as a proverb or as a form, though it is a plain is principally intended for a directory in a prayer. Matthew chapter 6 verse 9. Correct. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4. The Greek word there signifies both correction and instruction, and so does the English word nurture. They must go together, for instruction without correction will hardly succeed. Mothers must keep their children of Belial minded without a yoke. The end of the world result. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 15. They must not only be corrected by reproof, but when need is with a rude blow. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 18. Begin early as soon as they are capable to be bettered by it, and let your keep them out of hell. Correct them. Proverbs chapter 3 to 14.